Good evening, viewers. This is Gmeb Tv News, live from our studio in Banjulinding. And I am your presenter, Maria Makeda. First, the headline. The Girls Agenda held a workshop on NFGM, challenges visually in passing space. 3 Uganda parliamentarians over alleged charge budget corruption. These and many more stories coming ahead. Stay tuned on Gmeb TV. Welcome back, and if you are just tuning in, this is Gmeb TV News, live from our studio in Banjulinding. Press release. Declaration of Idul Adha as public holiday. State House, Banjul, 12 June 2024. The Office of the President is pleased to inform the public that His Excellency President Adama Barrow, acting under Section 76, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Gambia, has declared Sunday 16 June and Monday 17 June 2024 as a public holiday throughout the country in observance of the Muslim feast of Idul Adha, commonly known as Tobas. The Office of the President wishes you a joyous and blessed Idul Adha. Now to the news in details. The visually impaired people are considered to be among the poorest due to their disability to see. They are excluded from benefiting in many school development programs. Ismail Abba has a discussion with Babukar Sane, and this is what he has to say.
I am very much honored and very much glad to be here with you today. I am Babukar Sane, visually impaired. Did my childhood at Abuko, did my schooling first at Govi Resource Center for the Blind, where I did my grade 1 to 4, and then integrated to the mainstream schools. Started with Abuko Lower Basic School, where I did my grade 5, my grade 6, then to Abuko Upper Basic School, where I did my junior school, to Nusrat Senior Secondary School, where I did my senior secondary school. After my senior secondary school, I did proceed to the Gambia College to pursue my diploma in primary education. Upon completion of my diploma, I taught back at my alma mater, that is Abuko Lower Basic School, for 3 years before I returned back to the college to pursue my advanced diploma in secondary education. The challenges are always there. Among those challenges, one of them is access. Now, when we talk about access, access is broad. We are talking about access to environment, the environment itself, both leading to the schools and within the school environment itself might not be that quite accessible for persons with disabilities to be able to move around themselves, to be able to do whatever they want to do by themselves becomes a problem. So access to the environment is a problem, but also access to educational materials. Visual impaired do not use the normal materials that the sighted people use, such as these textbooks, exercise books, pencils. These are not materials that visual impaired use. We use braille machines, we use recorders, we use braille papers, and these are very expensive materials if you want to have them. So this at times becomes a problem, most especially textbooks. It might be very interesting for people to know that throughout the Gambia, it was only one embossing center that we have back then. So as a country, throughout the Gambia, it is only one place where textbooks are printed. So imagine how many visual impaired are in the mainstream schools, and all those visual impaired, their books are to be printed or to be embossed at just one center. And back then, it was only one person who was responsible for embossing all these books. So at times, before you would have the access to the textbooks, already your friends are way ahead of you.
The Girls Agenda hosted a 4-day workshop at the Governor's Office in Brikama with the Islamic students in the Gambia College. Babukar filed in this report.
The Girls Agenda hosted a 4-day workshop at the Governor's Office in Brikama with the Islamic students of the Gambia College. The workshop is supported by UNFPA through NGBV, which began on Tuesday, the 11th of June, with a number of 50 participants for the Tuesday and Wednesday session, and another 50 participants for Thursday, and ended today, Friday. During the course of the workshop, facilitators spoke on 3 different important themes, which are gender-based violence, FGM in health-wise aspect, integrate religious leaders to an FGM, and introduction to gender-based violence laws. Alongside, participants asked questions whether the facilitators are there to end FGM, but the facilitators responded that their stand is to state the effects of FGM health-wise, and the participants are to decide positively. A participant named Muhammad Ali Jallo, who is the president of the Islamic Club, said his stand on FGM is FGM, as defined by many, to be causing harm on the female genital tract by mutilating it. It's not permissible health-wise and even Islam, because Islam represents peace. But FGC, which is female genital circumcision, is permissible as in accordance with the Sunnah to remove all the prepuce at the top of the clitoris without causing any harm or mutilating the female part. For Gmeb TV, I am Babukar Fai.
Welcome back, and if you are just tuning in, this is Gmeb TV News live from our studio in Banjulinding. Now to our international stories. 3 members of Uganda parliament have been charged over an alleged budget corruption involving the country's parliament and finance ministry. Fatimata Yabo has more details on this story.
3 members of Ugandan parliament have been charged over an alleged budget corruption involving the country's parliament and finance ministry. The accused, Bunyol, East Member of Parliament Yusuf Muntembuli, his Busiki counterpart Paul Akamba, and Luwengo District Woman Members of Parliament Sisi Donizia Namuju have been tried before the Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala before Chief Magistrate John Akiro. The members of the parliament face a loan corruption. Meanwhile, while delivering the State of the Nation address on 6th June, President Yoweri Museveni promised to take action against the members of the parliament and Ministry of Finance officials involved in the budget corruption. The leader of opposition in parliament, Mr. Joel Sen Yonyi, described the arrest of the 3 members of parliament a fulfillment of President Museveni's promise of cracking a whip on a racket of members of parliament who are stealing taxpayers' money. Gmeb TV, Fatmata Yabo.
This is all we have for you, but before we go, a recap of our top headlines. The Rights Agenda held a workshop on NFGM. Challenges visually impaired person face. Uganda parliamentarians charged over alleged budget corruption. This is Gmeb TV. On behalf of our producer and the production team, we wish you a great evening. And I am your presenter, Maria Makeda.